Hey everybody, it's George Trombley, and this is Japanese from Zero, and we are continuing through our book, Japanese from Zero. Book, dang it. Where is book 4?
1, 2, 3. Life should be easy. Why should it not?
Hey everyone, it's George Trombley, and this is Japanese from Zero video series, and we are currently working on Japanese from Zero book 4, which you can get right here at all of these locations listed. And if you need to know the exact links, you can click the link in the description to get official links. Today we are on lesson 6. We already covered some new verbs in the prior lesson, and we'll be covering grammar in the next lesson. But right now we're going to be talking about some new words. And here's the word list. I won't read them out to you, but I just want to teach one thing here. Nado. Nado means etc. That's your bonus word of the day. All right, let's just jump right into it. This is a fairly short one. And these are words that you can use all the time in Japan. Here we go.
お勘定お勘定
And this is when you're at a restaurant and you want them to work up your bill. It's
お勘定
okay. Remember this because sometimes you don't know how to get the bill in Japan. This is the word you're going to use.
お勘定
We'll show you in a second. This word is such an everyday word in Japan.
駅前駅前
You might already know eki means train station. Ekimae means in front of the train station. Now, in book 2, we learn how to say in front of something by saying no mae. So, for example, you could say eki no mae. You can say that, but because ekimae is such a common word, ekimae is all by itself. It does not require no to connect it, okay?
駅前
Okay, next word.
不動産屋不動産屋
If you are looking for an apartment in Japan, you will have to interact with
不動産屋
real estate offices, okay? It can also mean a real estate salesman, a person that does real estate, okay? Fudosan yasan, you might hear also fudosan yasan.
レジ
Here's an English word, borrowed from English.
レジ
Reji means register.
チップ
This is a common question.
チップ
Do you have to pay tips in Japan?
チップ
The answer is no.
チップ
Okay. Also, coincidentally, this guy right here, his name is also Chippu. But that would be a microchip. Chippu. Okay. Not the same. And final word.
手数料手数料
This means handling charge or a commission. Now, I want to take a moment just to show you something really cool. The kanji for this are hand, number, fee. It's how many hands are involved that make you have to pay a fee. Tesuryō.
手数料
All right, let's look at some sentences.
すみませんお勘定お願いします
What do you think this means? It's very basic grammar. You should be able to get it.
すみませんお勘定お願いします
This is what you're going to say in a restaurant when you want to get the bill. すみません. Hi. There'll be a little bit of a pause. お勘定お願いします. If you're yelling it out.
すみませんお勘定お願いします
Okay. Very nice. You could also say 会計. 会計 also means a similar thing. 会計お願いします. All right.
お支払いはレジでお願いします
This might be the response that she gives you. She might hand you the bill. Now, normally, depending on the restaurant, many restaurants have a working receipt on the table. For example, if you are in a restaurant like Saizeria or Denny's or one of those family restaurants that are very, very popular in Japan, there will be a little plastic thing on the table, and you'll have this little, all of these little, every time you order something from the waitress, she'll add a little bit of a receipt into your, like a record of what you were ordering. You can just take that to go up to the table. You don't have to ask them to give you the check. The check's already on the table. You can just leave with it, okay?
We are here in Sapporo. Slight change of plans. Because of this snowstorm, we're probably not going to get many interviews today, but instead of that, we're going to be doing one of my favorite restaurants in all of Japan. It is Saizeria.
ミートソースボロニア風と、はい、一つとコーンクリームスープ一つと、はい。
And then she'll say to you,
お支払いはレジでお願いします
okay, so breaking it up, Oshiharai wa means the payment. What about it? Reji de onegaishimasu. Please at the register. This really means please make your payment at the register, okay? All right. Now you might think, okay, I'm leaving the family restaurant. She did great service. Every time I hit the bell that's on every Japanese restaurant table, which we should have in America, which is crazy that we don't.
So, in Japan, when you're at a restaurant, often they're going to have this bell. It's not very common at all in America, but you hit that, and then they come and they get the order.
Every time I hit that bell, she came and she was an amazing waitress or waiter, but yet I have to pay no tip? What?
日本ではレストランでチップを払いません。
Let's do a little social commentary. Don't you think in America, because we pay tips, we should have a bell on the table to call the waitress every time we want her? When I want a refill to my drink, can't I just call the waitress instead of go through one of these things or putting like very passively aggressively putting my empty cup on the edge of the table? I definitely want a bell in America. Every time I eat in America, I think how much better Japan's system is. And they don't even get tips. I imagine if they weren't getting tips, it could be like America where you're like, excuse me, hey, can you go over here? But in Japan, no tips, and yet you get this little bell on the table. Not like a bing, bing, bing bell, an electronic bell that they get notified. That is amazing. If you've never been to Japan, you're going to love that.
日本ではレストランでチップを払いません。
And you're going to love that too. You don't have to pay any tips at restaurants in Japan. Okay? All right. Next sentence.
不動産屋への手数料を払いたくないです。不動産屋への手数料を払いたくないです。
Now, this is also another thing. I like to talk about culture when we're doing this. I don't like to just give you raw sentences. So excuse me for bloviating every now and then, including this sentence. But in Japan, when you rent an apartment, you will be paying a bunch of fees to the realtor. There's like key money and reiking, and it's like literally it's appreciation money or thank you money. It's like, really? I have to pay you thank you money? But that's just how the real estate agents making their money. It's just the way that the business is, and they happen to tell you. But this is always my feeling. I'm sure it's your feeling.
不動産屋への手数料を払いたくないです。
Okay. So let's break this down just a little bit. So if we go from the back, it's haraitakunai desu. I don't want to pay. The thing that you're not paying is marked with O. It's tesurio, handling fee or fee. But we are modifying tesurio. 不動産屋への手数料. If we had just said 不動産屋の手数料, that would have been fine too. That would be the realtor's fees. But we're saying fees to the realtor. 不動産屋への手数料を.
不動産屋への手数料を払いたくないです。
I don't want to pay a commission to the real estate agent. Okay? Commission doesn't actually mean tesurio, but it's a good translation here in English. Remember that sometimes when you're translating, you don't want to make the English sound weird, so you make it sound what makes sense in English, okay? But in America, we don't particularly call these type of commissions out unless you're buying a house, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, now let's look at some real world usage. This is always my favorite part. Now today, we've taken this long one and I went ahead and normally my wife will read the entire thing, but I feel it's a little bit too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down word by word, not word by word, but sentence by sentence, okay? So let's listen to the very first sentence, which is the longest sentence.
ツイッター販売の場合は手数料がかからないので定価より 10% オフとなります。
All right, so that's the first sentence, and we have this new word here, 販売. 販売 means sales.
販売
Okay. Also, this very important word, the recording's a little bit weird.
場合
It's ba'ai. But you'll often hear this as ba'ai. It will sometimes be wa, ba'ai, ba'ai. Just because ba'ai is weird, okay? It sounds a little weird. Sometimes it'll also just be like elongated, ba'ai. But mostly, I believe my experience is I feel like I hear ba'ai.
場合
Okay. Or it just sounds like that. Even though they're saying ba'ai, maybe it sounds like ba'ai to me. So, tsita hanbai no ba'ai wa, in the case of sales on Twitter. So this person is selling something, okay? And he says, in the case of sales done through Twitter, 手数料がかからないので, since there is no handling fee, かかる, if you remember in the verb lesson, we learned it means, did we learn this? We learned it somewhere. We learned it in a prior lesson. It means to cost. 手数料がかからない means it doesn't cost any handling fees in the case of Twitter sales. ので, so therefore, 定価より, 定価 is list price, 定価より 10% off となります. It will be 10% off from the list price. Let's listen one more time.
ツイッター販売の場合は手数料がかからないので定価より 10% オフとなります。
Now what we're going to do is we're going to read this sentence right here, which is within the parentheses. Now parentheses in Japanese is 括弧. Now often when Japanese people are reading, they'll read that first 括弧. So they'll say blah, 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 括弧, and then they'll read what's inside there. They won't often end the 括弧. Let's listen.
括弧3870円足す送料710円足す振込手数料。
All right, so 送料 is shipping cost.
送料。送料。
We didn't list it, but 足す means plus. Now, very coincidentally, in the verb lesson, we had this verb kakeru, right? Do you remember kakeru, which means to call someone, or megane o kakeru, to put glasses on, or shiroppu o kakeru, to put syrup on. It means to put on, all of those things, right? But in mathematics, kakeru means multiply. So it's, if we were going to do 1 times 2, it would be ichi kakeru ni. If we're going to say 1 plus 2, it's ichi tasu ni. Okay, so here the seller is saying, hey, it doesn't cost any fees in the case of buying on Twitter, so you're going to get it 10% off of list price, okay? And then they break it down for you.
括弧3870円足す送料710円足す振込手数料。
Okay, so it's 3,870 yen plus shipping of 710 yen plus 振込 手数料. Now, this is a weird one for at least for America. It's extremely weird. We pay everything with a credit card online, okay? But not Japan. In Japan, you have
振込。
you have to bank transfer. And often, this can be done by going to a convenience store and doing it. I think there's ways to do it online too, but it's a direct transfer from your bank account to theirs. It's very mendokusai. It's very a pain in the butt to do it. But this is the way of life in Japan. And I think, honestly, one thing that we learned about Japan during the whole Corona thing is that they are very inefficient. They haven't been handling, I don't mean to bring this up because this video isn't going to be evergreen if I say this. It's going to get old. Like, what is Corona? 2 years, people won't even remember. But during this pandemic, there's been a lot of inefficiencies that have been understood about Japan. They have really, really not been doing well with distributing the vaccines, and they just did not handle this crisis very well. And we also realized that Japanese people weren't really set up to work at home because most of them don't have computers. They do everything through their phones, which was awesome in the beginning. It was really great in the beginning that they all had internet on their phone way before us, but then that didn't translate into being able to work from their home. And even today, they have these really old ways of doing things like furikomi. You want to hear another? Okay, this will be cut out of the summary version of this, but another thing that's crazy is that Japanese ATM machines, I think it's still the case that sometimes they're closed after 6, as if the ATM machine needs a break. It's just Japan has very weird things about them, despite being a very advanced country. Okay, and
振込
is one of them. The fact that you have to bank transfer things is very weird. All right, let's finish this off.
ペイペイでの支払いもできます。
So PayPay is kind of like one of their payment systems. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it certainly looks like PayPal. PayPay での支払いもできます。
ペイペイでの支払いもできます。
So 支払い here again, we're using the word payment. And what type of payment? PayPay での支払い. Payment by or via PayPay. Mo also can be done. できます。
ペイペイも手数料がかかりませんので 10% オフ。
PayPay mo, PayPay also, 手数料かかりません. Now, up here we had かからない, which was informal, casual version. And then you have かかりません, which is the more polite way. 手数料かかりません. So for PayPay also, there are no fees. So, 10% off, 10% off. And then we have our explanation.
かっこ3870円足す送料710円なので
So it's 3,800 yen plus shipping of 710 yen. Therefore,
どうぞご利用ください。
please utilize this. So it looks like it will be a little bit cheaper if you use PayPay. I'm not sure if that's the case, but we have no furikomi tesurio. All right, so that's real world usage once with some of these. Real world usage number 1 is what I meant to say with these words. Let's do another one. This is a short one, so we won't break it up.
おととい行った伊東駅前の居酒屋さん。何食べても美味しかったです。
I'm so jealous hearing this because I really want to go to Japan.
おととい。
Ototoi. Okay, means the day before yesterday. Ototoi itta.
伊東駅。
Ito eki means Ito station, and it's ekimai for that station. So the other day went to Ito ekimai. We don't know exactly where they went yet. All we know right now is the place that they went is in front of the Ito station, okay? So Ito ekimai no izakaya-san. Izakaya is a bar and food place. We're adding san, that's very common. Izakaya-san. So what about it? Ototoi itta Ito ekimai no izakaya-san. The bar and food place in front of the Ito station that I went to yesterday, 何食べても美味しかったです. No matter what I ate, it was delicious. It was delicious. 何食べても美味しかったです. Okay? So 何食べても. So you could do this 何も. Actually, there could be, I'm sorry, I added the mo. There is no mo there. 何食べても. It's 何 something, te form of a verb, mo. So you could say, no matter what I drank, 何飲んでも. No matter what I do, 何しても. Okay? You can do all sorts of things, no matter what verb you put in there, it works. Okay? So, 何食べても, no matter what I ate, 美味しかったです。
おととい行った伊東駅前の居酒屋さん。何食べても美味しかったです。
Okay, no matter what I ate, it was delicious. That's it, guys. I'll see you all on the next Japanese from Zero. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, please comment and like and all that stuff because it helps the algorithm like a ton. Like, our videos really need some love. Please give us love. The way you do that is hitting the like button. You should know that by now. And commenting. Thank you, guys. Bye. Oh, you guys are still here. That's awkward. I thought everyone would have gone by now. But hey, there's some links right here, some random links to other videos that you might enjoy. And if you haven't subscribed yet, oh my gosh, did you know that you could click the circle and subscribe? Most people don't know that. It seems to be a very rare piece of information. Thanks, guys. Bye.